Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at basic attention token, its valuation against Bitcoin as well as the US dollar. Remember, if you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. So, with basic attention token, at least its valuations against Bitcoin, it is holding the top of the line here. If you remember, on my first iterations of basic attention token videos, when we were at these levels, I was saying this is the best time to buy basic attention token, historically speaking, with your Bitcoin. Having said that, after that we saw a rally, pretty nice rally, but obviously not as big as we expected. It rallied about 300% from the bottom. Um, and then now it is retraced and is holding the top of the buy region, or just on it, if you want to call it that. And we've been here for about 4 weeks, going into our fifth week here. So, with that said, what does this mean for basic attention token? Well, we've always said basic attention token is a risky asset. It's sub 50. It's like in the 80s on coin market cap. It has a very low market cap, and because of that, I would say it's one of the riskier coins that I hold in my portfolio. Having said that, we always had the vision that eventually basic attention token will rally against Bitcoin and come up to this upper region here, whether that's up to here, which is fine for me, or even here, which is even better. Obviously, we're not there yet. We haven't been there for quite some time. Haven't been there in 2 years, since 2019. So with that said, going forward, in this period of Bitcoin being below the 20-week moving average, being bearish, the market sentiment is bearish, so on and so forth. It's very hard to imagine in this scenario where basic attention token can rally to the 20-week, rally to upper regions where it hasn't been for years, making new local highs, that kind of thing. Very hard to imagine. And that isn't to say that it will never go to there. I'm just saying, at least now. So, with that said, if we're beholden to Bitcoin, what does Bitcoin need to do in order for us to start being, or at least for me being, bullish on basic attention token again and thinking that it'll create new local highs? One is to get back above the 20-week moving average. It's been 8 weeks since we've been below the 20-week moving average. We know we can spend a lot longer below it before any kind of move happens. But it's fun to speculate when, right? It's fun to speculate when. And I've said if the 50-week moving average holds a support, if it does, then you could just take the trajectory of the 50-week moving average and just look at where the 20-week moving average is coming from. You can see now the 20-week moving average is finally trending down. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a straight line, but if we just, humor ourselves, we could see a convergence of it at the end of the summer, August 30th. And so, with that said, one of the conditions should be met by that time, around that time. It could take longer, could take less, but around that time, Bitcoin should be back above the 20-week moving average and somewhat stable. If we're able to see that, if Bitcoin is able above the 20-week moving average at some point at the end of summer and is stable above there, meaning that it's not going to drop back down, we can then revisit basic attention token. Look at where it is at that point, because it could be back in the band, it could be a little higher. We don't know, but wherever it is, we will then take a look at its price and then evaluate, because that is when basic attention token and other altcoins should shine. When Bitcoin's above the 20-week moving average and is holding it. Until then, all we can do with basic attention token is just hope it doesn't drop too much, unless you're looking to accumulate, in which case I would refer back to my older videos of when basic attention token was in this region, and I said that this was the best buy, with your Bitcoin at the very least. And if you got even below it, further below it, then great. Having said that, We don't know if it's going to get back to these, 700, 800 Satoshi level. But it could very well, poke its head within this region again, buying it like 1265, 1300 Satoshis, etc. So that's something to look forward to if you're a, masochist, I guess. But with that said, let's take a look at the US dollar chart. Now, this is somewhat interesting. So we are holding, relatively speaking, the prior all-time high for basic attention token against the US dollar, which is here. We're holding this level pretty well. We're at the bottom of the region, so we'll see if we're able to hold here for the duration of the time when Bitcoin's below the 20-week moving average. I'd like it to hold here. I'd be very remiss if it comes back down and comes back lower and say maybe hits this downward line of resistance and hopefully turns into support. But that would mean about a 30 cent basic attention token, which isn't the greatest, right? We were back in the day, we were at like $1.64, which is great. So keep that in mind. We're holding support at the prior all-time high, relatively speaking, but there isn't any indication that we would hold it, right? But if we look at other cryptocurrencies, um, when we look at like Ethereum, it's holding above its prior all-time high. Chainlink, I don't know. Yeah, it's holding up its prior all-time high. So you could see like other altcoins are holding up its prior all-time high or at least is above it. So with that said, maybe you can hold the same kind of accountability with basic attention token, but I wouldn't hold my breath for any of those for it to have to hold, right? We should be open to the idea that it can go further down, much like how we are open to the idea that basic attention token dips back down to the buy band against Bitcoin. Anyway, that's kind of my perspective on basic attention token still. Nothing really has changed. Unless we see some kind of bullish move with Bitcoin and we're kind of convinced at that point where it's going to break the 20-week moving average, we can then start to see what basic attention token is doing. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.